Jesus at one stage in the Holy Bible, in the book of Matthew chapter 9, towards the end, he says this weird thing. He's already out and he's helping people, he's healing people, he's just taking care of people, dealing with their needs. And he turns around to his disciples at one stage and says, pray to the Lord of the harvest, which means pray to God, that he will send out laborers, people that are willing to help. Because the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So there is plenty of work to do, plenty of need for the people, but there's a lack of people wanting to go out there and help and labor to help with the needs of the people. And what's weird about it is that right after he tells them to pray to God for laborers, for people to go out and help, in chapter 10, which is a continuation, by the way, he just keeps talking. But what happened is the verses and the chapters were inserted into the text years after, and which is good because it helps us find different verses and texts and chapters a lot quicker when we're looking for something. But in that story, he was continuing to talk. So right after he said, pray to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers because the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few, he turns around to his disciples in chapter 10, go check it out, from verse 1 to about 8. You can see the picture there. He turns around to his disciples and actually says, go. He turns around to his disciples and he sends them out to be that answer to that prayer. So what I see there is that sometimes God will want you to be the answer to that prayer that you're praying. See, you could be praying for the elderly because you have a heart for the elderly, the people in the nursing homes that are towards the end of their years. They're going to die, many of them, because they're getting older, and you have a heart towards them and you're praying for them. You're praying for their salvations and all that kind of stuff. But maybe God is actually calling you to go and volunteer to go into those nursing homes, to be the answer to that prayer that you're praying about, and be there to love on them, to hear them, to pray for them, to preach the gospel, the good news to them before they die, so they can go to heaven. So you could be the answer to that prayer. You could be praying for the politics, for the government, for the things that are going on there, but you're meant to be an answer that God's calling you into politics so you can go into that government and be a righteous light inside that government in your country. Same with school, same with the young people, the youth, or whatever it is. You can be praying for them, but maybe you're actually called to be the answer to that prayer that you're praying about. So this is what I wanted to say in this video, that I know it's more comfortable to pray about things. And many of us, we just pray, but we don't want to get uncomfortable now and actually do something about what we just prayed about. But in the Bible, it shows us both things, where sometimes we pray for the will of God that he wants done on this earth, and we're crying out to God for that will of God, and it's great. But then there's other times also when we pray and we finish praying, okay, now go and do something about it. And that's what it's calling us into, especially at these times, because it's got amazing times coming. And if more people that love God make themselves available, this world is going to look amazing in the next few years, because we're not just sitting in our church buildings praying and talking about what Jesus said and what Jesus wants, but we actually go and do what Jesus said and Jesus wants. All right, take care.